Hello mobsters, this is the boss of bosses coming to you today with another tutorial video, this one on Consigliere. Consigliere position or consig is one of the more complex positions in the game. There's a lot of things to juggle and manage at the same time, so it can be a bit tricky. So we'll jump right into it. Clout is the consig stat. That's the stat that the consig needs to have, and that is the stat that determines what and how good the consig is, and it gives them the capability of doing all the tasks it needs to do. So right now I have 24 and 6. It's kind of low. The bonus here is once this gets to 10, it adds 1 here and it goes back to 0. So it's just a way to earn bonus stats. A consig is responsible for keeping its members out of jail. It is responsible for keeping the heat meter low in each city. And is also responsible for getting the city officials on the family's payroll, which means that they provide perks to you, make it more friendly for your family to do business in that city. So we will go right to it. So we'll get right into the family. We'll run the report. So the Don, UB, and Consig can run this report, and it tells them how effective the Consig is at doing his job. And each city is going to be different depending on if you have city officials. If you have no city officials, literally everything is going to be the same across the board. But as you can see, Miami here and Cleveland here, their percentages are a little bit higher because I have a city official in each one of these cities. So they're the same with each other, but only because I have one city official each. So my chances of keeping my members out of jail aren't the best, but they're not terrible. So this report is what you're going to use to help manage when you should spend your clout on lowering your heat meter or trying to buy city officials, because it takes clout to buy those. Clout is a lot like money. You need to have clout to make clout. So what that means is you need a certain clout level or stat value to be able to keep your family members out of jail. When you keep your family members out of jail, you gain that bonus clout. And when your bonus clout gets to 10, then you add 1 clout to your stat, which makes you more effective. Now this is important to never have your clout go too low. Let it get to a point where you are keeping your members out of jail, at least for most tasks. Like here, extortion and robbery, business extortion, assault is a little rough for me, but at least the top 3 here, I've got a good chance of keeping my members out of jail. And if I do fail and they do go to jail, if I'm online, I can appeal their case by going to the jail, and you'll have a little alert over here that'll tell you if you got a family member in jail. You'll click that, and it'll bring you right to the jail. And then there's an appeal button. You can click the appeal button, and then you can get that hopefully get that family member out of jail. It gives you a second chance, and the difficulty is not as hard if you're appealing. So it benefits you to be online as much as you can to try and catch your family members in jail and get that second chance at getting that bonus clout. Now, where do we spend our clout? We spend our clout in 2 different ways. We spend it here at the airport in lowering our heat level. Now the heat level is a representation of your family's activities in that city. As you do more crimes and you're consistently doing crimes, people of that city are going to get fed up with you and want you out. So if your heat level gets to 100, you won't be able to fly to that city anymore. You'll be locked out completely. The city's had enough. They're done with your shenanigans and they want you out. So you want to keep your heat level below 100 so you can fly to your city. So my family city, I am in the Savello family. And our heat meter is at 94%. So that's pretty high. We're pretty close to hitting 100, and then I'd lose the 1 official I do have in Cleveland. We did have a war just recently with the Black Hand family, and that's why this heat meter is as high as it is compared to some of these other ones, is because we went to war with them and a lot of attacks were happening, so therefore our heat meters are both kind of high. During that war, I unfortunately had to go away for the weekend and was not able to get on during that time. My heat meter went over 100 in Cleveland, and I had all 6 city officials, and I lost all 6 when we went over 100. And then it skyrocketed the heat meter from, at 100, but once you lose the city officials, it actually jumps up because then you lose that bonus of having them on your payroll, which makes your heat meter slower to rise. So it increases your limit of what it takes to hit 100. So this was up to like 160%. So when I got back, I had to spend a ton of my clout, get that back down to a manageable level, and start working on the process of getting those city officials back on the payroll and be able to fly back to Cleveland. So it doesn't hurt you. You can be up to 99%. There's no negative. It doesn't make it harder for you to keep your members out of jail if you're at 99 compared to, say, 1. So in the beginning, when you have low clout, let the heat meter rise. Do not worry about it. Pay attention to it. You don't want it to hit 100 because then you'll lose progress. But at the very least, let it rise in the beginning. So I'm letting this rise right now. I'm paying attention to it very closely. And I'm going to make sure that I don't let that get to 100. In the meantime, I'm trying to build up my clout. So that way I have 100% across the board, hopefully, for the game. Now I'm going into the next thing is city officials, and I got 1 city official in Cleveland and 1 city official in Miami. So I can go through and try and buy Raymond. This will cost $25K and 5 clout. And this is why it's important to not spend too much of your clout trying to get the city officials or lowering your heat if your clout isn't high enough. So use that report to gauge when it's okay for you to spend it. So I'm going to give this a go. I'm going to try and get this person on our payroll. Raymond Loudwalk is still not on your family's payroll, so keep trying. So now 2 key things that are important is that your city officials, you don't have to go to that city to try and buy them. You can basically wire them the money and try and bribe them or send someone to beat them. And as a consig, you don't ever have to leave whatever city you are currently in. Same with the heat meter. You can lower the heat meter from any point. So if I go and actually take out more money, then I can go back to the airport and I can check my heat meter and see now I've got this button that says I can try and do it. Now I'm not going to right now because I'm going to give myself some time. Let's go back to the family. I spent some clout, so let's run my report. So now I'll run it, and as you can see, I went from 90% down to 65% in cities that I don't have an official in, down to 75%. So I definitely do not want to spend any more clout. I really probably shouldn't have spent that last clout trying to get that at city official, but I wanted to show you an example of what it means to do that. So I am in rough shape here, so I really got to work hard on trying to get my family members out of jail, get that bonus clout up, and hopefully get this all back to 100. So city officials, so if I go to actually the player's guide, go to civilians, this goes over the process. So each official has one of 7 types of characters. And you have to do these in order when you're going through the process. But here's the 7 types. Easy to buy, which means you try and bribe them. Normal to buy, hard to buy. Easy to force means you beat them. You send one of your family members to go rough them up and try and get them to get on your payroll. Normal, hard, and then complete refusal to be corrupt. You've got a white knight and refuses to be corrupt in any way, and that makes your family have no other option but to send someone to go whack them. You need that city official on your payroll. So time to remove that person and get someone new in. Now these have to be done in order. So if you have an official that is easy to force, you have to try and bribe them once, twice, and 3 times, and then beat them, and then you'll get it. So that's the process of how you get your city officials. And each bribe costs 5 clout. Now when you get past the bribing point and you have one of these other options, it doesn't take clout anymore. Now it's just you've gone to physical force. So it won't take any clout. So the clout is only spent on trying to bribe them and trying to lower your heat meter. So that report is going to be your friend. That is essential. And that wraps it up. That pretty much covers the basics of what Consig needs to try and manage and cover. Today's video is the code for this video is Consig Life. You'll take that once this video is posted. You'll hopefully see it if you're subscribed. You'll enter Consig Life into your profile and you'll get 25 Omerta points given to you just for watching this video and helping support the channel. Now subscribe, like, comment below if there's any other tutorial videos you want me to cover, any questions, any other tips that you might have that helps out the consigs doing their job better. If not, have a great day, guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.